Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hagir Show on the Hagir Network. I am honored today to be introduced to Becky, and I am hoping that she will guide us. She will show us things that we can use for saving, for tips for Business Wednesday, and also for not just our financial freedom, but mental health awareness as well. Becky, can you please introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and how did we get here?
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be on your show and discuss my journey, I guess I'll say, with gardening. I started about maybe 10 years ago gardening, and I think at that time my daughter was around three, just turning three, and I wanted to have her eat healthier. And I was the first time mom that was really obsessive about ensuring that she ate well. So I made her my own baby food and little snacks and so forth for her. So as she started becoming more interested in eating and off of the formula and milk, I wanted her to eat healthier. So I started to dive into gardening. And it was it became a huge passion, and it was something that she loved and I loved. And it was a wonderful opportunity for us to bond together, as well as began creating healthy eating habits for my daughter. And as that journey began, I had a patio, backyard patio. I lived in a townhome, and we started on the patio, and I used to grow in containers. And I never knew that you could grow tomatoes and cucumbers and such and containers. So I decided to take that expertise or knowledge, and I created a mommy and me class at the local Gaithersburg Parks and Recreation. And my daughter was my little helper, and I would have children pre-K to just about first grade learning all about fruits and vegetables and the importance of eating healthy, just different ways of planting, the parts of the fruit or vegetable that you can eat. And the most exciting part afterwards was, I guess, it was a 6-week program that I did. And the parents were learning, the children were learning. And towards the end, the parents would pull me aside and say, how did my kid is eating carrots, my kid's eating broccoli willingly. And so one of the most exciting things that I learned about that was that gardening is not just wonderful for adults, it's really good for kids because they're invested in it. Once they start planting those seeds and watching it grow, they desire to want to eat what they've already put all that time and energy into. So it really started off with that. And then from there, I think I only taught 2 classes because right after that, COVID hit. And once COVID hit, it was just a big thing for everybody, and people were home. And at that time, people were just wanting to find other things to do. And friends and family knew that I gardened. I started taking gardening classes with the University of Maryland's extension to attempt to become a master gardener. So I learned all about botany and insects and all the cool the good and bad bugs and the garden, just really amazing things. And my day job, I work as a multimedia producer, and so my friends and family were like, well, why don't you just create a YouTube channel and help everybody with gardening and teach people how to garden? And that's where the Mocha Foodie Gardener was birthed. And so I would make recipes from what I cooked, because that was another challenge. In the beginning, it was like I'm growing all these things, and it's just like, oh gosh, well, what do I do with it? It's like, it's pretty intuitive. You think, oh, I have a tomato, I have a cucumber, I'll chop it up and make fusilli or something like this. But over time, it's just like, okay, I want to make some more exciting things. So I coupled that with teaching people basics of gardening, as well as, oh, these are different recipes that you can do with what you grow. And where this kind of started turning into a business, my numbers started growing a bit. And, I was told that, oh, well, you could monetize. And I had a company reach out to me and say, hey, can you advertise our garden? And so I would start doing that. And I had a couple companies that I would work with, and we would have a little contract together. And I would show how their project worked and how I liked it, the good and the bad of it. And it's just been an amazing journey. I'm still going strong. I'm on my third garden with another company, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this will go. I haven't done much with food as of late because gardening has taken over. And I will say one quick point. When I say gardening, I transitioned from outdoor gardening to indoor gardening to hydroponics. And that has just completely opened up a new world for me, which I love because I think of it's a lot easier with water conservation. You're saving more space, the lighting and everything, and you have year-round gardening, which is amazing. So in January or February or wherever, I'm growing strawberries, which is exciting. So this has just been an amazing journey that I'm loving right now. So
First, let me start by saying you're a better woman than I am. It takes not just a strong person, but it takes someone with patience and dedication. And you are a true example of how someone can make a business, make a living out of anything that they love if they put
Mhm.
time into it. My daughter, she's like a musician artist, and the oldest one was telling her, find a backup plan because you are going to be a starving artist. And I told her that's not true. Doesn't have to be this
Yeah.
way. If if you love what you do and you try to make it work, if there is a will, there is a way, right? So how did it start? Like, did you always enjoy gardening, or that's something you just come across?
It
Like
did. I think
that's yeah.
Uh-huh. I think it just came across and I'm learning. I think it's in my bloodline. My family, I will say I just sad note, I just lost my great aunt. She was the last of nine brothers and sisters. They were from Clarinda, Iowa, and they lived on a farm. And that's what they did back in the 1917 was when my grandmother was born, and they farmed. They grew their own fruits and veggies. My mom has a huge green thumb. I remember growing up, our house was like the tropics because she would have these amazing plants. And, I remember thinking it was cool, but I never thought of myself doing it until I got a little older. And again, just thinking of my daughter and wanting fun activities to do with her, cutting down on screen time and it's also a very relaxing, it's very cathartic to garden. And so it was, I just developed that love for it. My mom is a holistic practitioner, so I would couple that with nutrition and health and just kind of have those two things fitting together. And again, speaking on the piece of it being cathartic and relaxing, that was around the time when my dad fell ill. I was taking care of him in the home, and I just remember there would just be times where I would just go out in my patio and just sit and just breathe in nature and just have the plants just kind of feed me their energy. And it was almost like a symbiotic relationship. We give back to nature, nature gives to us. And it just developed. It's something woke up inside of me. And I just took off and I have a green thumb within me. And even though I say that, I like to tell people that anybody can garden because
Yeah.
it's really nature. Nature does really all the work. You have to water it and you have to make sure, oh, there's a bug, let me pluck the bug off. There are brown leaves or what have you, but nature's gonna do what it's gonna do. And so that's
Yeah.
the cool part about it. So
But a lot of people they stay away from farming, especially someone
yeah,
like me, because it's a lot of work. You think of
it
it,
can be.
so it can be. There is two things here I want you to touch on. When you talk about what you do,
Mhm.
to me, when I heard, it came to my mind the farmers and
Yeah.
waking up at like sunrise and
Yeah.
having like to dig and do all of that. Is it
Yeah.
the right picture, or there is a way you can do it and also have a different kind of life, like
Absolutely. So
yeah.
yeah, like I said, with if you think about the patio, when I had a patio,
Hmm.
literally had pots. They're called smart pots. I apologize. I've
Hmm.
got fire truck. Smart pots. It's not like your traditional plastic containers. They're felt. It's like a felt material and it has this nice aeration so that the roots can breathe. And you literally just get compost. I would use compost instead of soil because of the richness of the nutrients in it. And I would literally just plant tomato seeds, cucumber seeds in pots, zucchini in pots. So it cuts back on the amount of digging and excavating that you need to do on your backyard. It's literally very simple. You can just use your water hose and water it when you need it. Each needs its a certain amount. And of course, when it rains, the best part, but it's not like the backbreaking work unless you're trying to have an agricultural space. But a small family, it was just the three of us at the time, my previous husband and my daughter and myself. We didn't need acres and acres. So we had a few pots in the back and it was sustainable for us. Now I still would supplement with grocery store finds and
Yeah,
farmers
yeah.
market, but yeah. So
Yeah, so basically, this is to help you financially,
mhm.
to sustain, and also it give you a chance to eat healthy, know
Yes,
where are those fruits and vegetables come
yes,
from, and have
yes,
control over them, especially when we hear about a lot of, usage of hormones and all of that.
right.
But the part that I want you, before we talk about this, if you don't mind, talk to us about the mental health advantage of this.
Yeah,
A lot of people, I hear that a lot,
yeah,
and you said it few times, and I
yeah.
know most of us are like when we go through hard time, we
Mm,
try to find our coping mechanism. We
yeah,
try to find things that give us a purpose to live another day or to fight or even just to breathe. I
yeah,
know farming is not for me, but I'm sure it's going to be for someone else.
sure,
So if
sure.
you can talk about the mental health benefits of doing gardening or farming or that, and also the financial health.
Sure, sure. Well, I'll start briefly with the financial. For instance, I love herbs. I love growing basil and cilantro and thyme and all those things. If you look in the grocery store, you get those little teeny containers, $5 at Whole Foods for like a few sprigs. I'm growing like bushes practically. These guys grow like wildflowers in your garden or in your home. And so when I compare that, the seeds are maybe like what, like $3 a packet. You can get like up to 30 seeds. One seed will grow one plant that you have an innumerable amount of other plants that will grow from that. So when I think of that cost benefit, you're using a little bit of water. If the rain, obviously we can use nature for the rain. That cost is so much better. And I'm not wasting either because what I do is I only clip as much as I need to cook. And my daughter loves spaghetti, so I'll with meat sauce. So I'll cut off some fresh oregano, fresh basil, and then top it with parsley and have, or wow my friends and, think that I'm growing these amazing things. Or I'm not sure how many people know of microgreens. Microgreens are phenomenal. A lot of restaurants use them for, again, garnish. You can also get them in the grocery stores. I know Whole Foods and Wegmans does that. And those are, again, very, very expensive. Sometimes a container is like almost $20. I grow microgreens within a week, and the microgreens they have 10 times the amount of nutritional value than the adult counterpart. So not only am I, again, being healthy, which also plays to your mental health as well, because if it feeds your gut health. If your gut is good, then your brain is good. And it's again, it's that symbiotic relationship where you're taking one, you're taking care of one, and something else is being taken care of. And so getting on to that part, just the mental health, gosh, just believe it or not, just touching soil, just putting your hands in that soil sometimes can be so relaxing. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I've read about anecdotal scientific evidence that says there's a term called earthing, or you think of tree huggers, but seriously, there's an energy in the soil. There's an energy in the earth that resonates with our body, and it has a calming effect. Just something as simple as when I touch my basil, you can smell the scent of the fresh basil. And you can even practice mindfulness when you think about it. If you just close your eyes and you feel the leaves, the softness of the leaves, and oh, well, this part is a little bumpy and this has this scent, and then the lavender has that scent. Those things are really helping you to calm your mind and to compartmentalize what's going on and in that moment, to just relax yourself enough to be in that moment of this is all I'm doing. I'm listening to nature. I'm hearing the birds chirp. I'm feeling the wind, the soft breeze. And that just does wonders. When, if even if it's for like 10 minutes, if you're just stressed out, you go outside and just be with nature. You know, the phrase, stop and smell the roses. There's really something to
Yes.
that. Yeah, you know, there's really something to that. It does something for our mood. Yeah.
So, and you personally experienced that. That's something that you can
Absolutely.
attest to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
We get a lot of question, especially on Business Wednesday. A lot of people want to do something and they don't know. For example, this is if someone who like to cook
Mhm.
and you know wanted to have this as a business, doing it from home by you can start your garden and you
Mhm.
can have your material for your business, and
Yes.
that will save you a ton of money. But
Absolutely.
when you thought about this as a business,
Mhm.
what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about growing their own vegetable or fruit, or becoming, you know growing their own garden, or even any kind of business,
Sure,
and
sure.
especially for women of colors,
Yeah.
because we know this is not easy for us anyway.
Right.
And there is a lot of obstacles, there is a lot of doubts, and people, doubt their ability, and everyone is telling you you can't do it. And just
Mhm.
hearing all of that, how can we overcome those obstacles and succeed in business in general?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, and you just the point where it just resonated where you said doubting
Yeah.
yourself. I had a lot of self-doubt, like, oh gosh, nobody wants to hear about gardening or anything like that. So, but I think just the biggest thing is just to just believe. It sounds cliche, but believe in yourself. Just trusting and just saying, you know what, somebody's going to be interested in this. Somebody's going, this is a need for someone. There was a time where and I'm still considering it, where, like, for instance, if someone wants to start a garden, I have a farmer's market literally down the street from me every weekend. And that's a thought of that, hey, I can grow enough produce to have a table at a farmer's market. I can create a class where I'm teaching, again, where I'm teaching children and families ways to eat better. Or like you said, if the person wants to cook, if they're wanting to be a chef, we're in a day and age where social media is very big, and we have influencers. That I guess the term is a little millennial or cliche, but I think it's very important. And a lot of marketers out there will seek out people like myself, or even younger people, or women who are looking to restart or reinvent themselves, to say, hey, you know what, I have a belief, I have something that I'm passionate about, and this is where I'm going to take these steps to to show people, like, hey, look, this is what you can do with this. And I literally shoot with my cell phone. I've got a couple studio lights, and that's about it. I do have a bit of a background in media, but there's so many tools now where people are able to do their own edits and put their own content out there. And again, it's a thing of, I will say, one of the building blocks, it would be number one, of course, believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, having a support group of cheerleaders who are not just going to cheer you on, but who are going to tell you the truth as well. Like, hey, maybe you should change this, or maybe you should change that. But definitely a strong tribe, a strong support group of women who have succeeded, women who've been where you are, and they can say, hey, this is gonna happen. This may frustrate you, but keep going, keep going. That's big. Watching shows like yours, just
Yeah.
getting that encouragement and just saying, hey, you know what, they did it, why can't I do it? So
And the Hagir network is really big with removing negativity and negative people from your surrounding. I
yeah.
always say, if my circle is a dot, I am okay. As
Yeah.
long as that dot is taking my back, someone
Hmm.
that I can trust, someone that support, someone is honest with you. And
Hmm.
you said something about, your other study, or your other side of work, which is media. I know a lot of people, like, they went to college had a degree, and then they found that that job or whatever they study is not something they want, or it's not something that is going to sustain their life.
Sure.
And they're hesitant to like change their career. So
Yeah.
for you, did you change your career? I'm going to take you back to talk to me about your schooling.
For sure.
You know, what were you doing? What was your career? What did you want to do? What Becky want to do? Little Becky.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, I actually have been blessed. I ended up doing what I wanted to do. I went to American University. I started off with interning and working at the Montgomery County Public Schools television. There was a homework hotline. I'll never forget it. And it was so cute. I started out working in television. I always wanted to be a producer, a TV producer, or work in children's television. My favorite show growing up was Reading Rainbow, and LeVar Burton was the guy that just propelled me. And just seeing a person of color back then, when not there weren't too many of us on screen, it was a big pivotal moment for me of that, wow, I could do that too. And I just I went from there. I went to, as I mentioned, went to American University, studied visual media, and then I got out and then I work at a think tank in DC, and the rest is history. So I've been blessed enough to be able to mesh the two worlds together, again, media and then my gardening, to use my media background to propel my passion and my photographic eye for taking my pictures and plating my foods. But so it has been a blessing. But for those who may have felt that, hey, I want to start over again, it's always a scary thing. But like you said, just having that small dot of people, positive people, because positive reinforcement and positive self-speak and self-talk and positive people will continue to build you up, and you can do anything, and you're manifesting and speaking things in. And I'm a true believer in that in manifestation, and that you can, if you see yourself in a place, you're tricking your brain essentially to say, this is where I am, and your brain is like, I don't see the obstacles because this is
Yeah.
already seeing myself there, and I've got it, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to continue to build and be where I need to be. So, yeah.
People don't say reach for the stars for no reason.
Yeah.
You have to set your goals high. Yes,
Mhm.
you need to be realistic,
Yeah.
but also have a long-term goal and a
Yes.
short-term goal. This
Agreed.
way you don't stress yourself, you don't feel like failure.
Yeah.
And also failure mean that you tried. A lot of people don't see this when they fail, they get down and depressed, and they stay at that stage. It's okay to be depressed.
Yeah.
It's okay to fail, but that means you are trying. So pick yourself up and
Yeah.
keep going, right?
Yeah. And you learn the lessons from the failures as well. You
Yeah.
say, I know not to do the same thing next time, and you move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So how your media, like a lot of people could like benefit from, okay, I am using the things that I love, gardening, for example, for you, not me. The things that I love, gardening and doing this, healthy, mentally and financially stable thing going on for me. But I'm also able to dig deep and find, okay, I am a media person.
Yeah.
How can I bring those together and also be at this current present time? Now we are at this age and
Yeah.
stage of our life where media basically control everything,
Yes.
and you can benefit, you can grow your business using the media. So can
Mhm.
you talk to us and let, if anyone wanted to do something, and how they can use their photography or
Excuse me.
videography or even just any kind of talent that they
Yeah.
have to bring on income, bring on satisfaction, happiness, all of that.
Yeah. So yeah, well, again, as with on the media end of things, if it's photography, you create an Instagram page and you're advertising your work. You're putting yourself out there that way. You can use there's so many tools, again, like editing tools if a person is interested in videography. These cell phone cameras alone these days have the best cameras almost, and they're a lot cheaper than the traditional HD studio cameras that I'm used to. And you can just do whatever, just kind of have that eye, or just kind of see what you like and then post it and see what works. It's for me with my channel, it's been kind of like a back and forth, like trying to figuring
Mm,
out what people want to see, what people want to look at, and what their interest is, and just kind of digging in. I will say, I call it YouTube University. Like any almost anything
uh-huh.
that you want to learn, you can kind of just type it in and say, hey, oh, how do I understand how to read analytics? Okay, well, these shows didn't, or these episodes didn't do too well, so but these did better. This is what other people are looking for. It's always, you can always pull some kind of talent that you have, I think, no matter what it is, and apply that. I think it's just, it comes to the application of what you're doing, and just and the dedication and pushing forward with that. So again, I can only speak to the media piece. I guess if a person's an
Yeah.
artist, like your daughter, putting their work out there, learning, oh, let me learn how can I expand my growth, so,
Promote myself.
and promote myself. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, it's not always fun, but to make money, you've got to spend money. So,
Yeah.
are you putting ads out there? Are you putting, and even again, social media ad space is ridiculously cheaper than
Yeah.
a couple second spot on television. So there's so many more advantages that the people have today now, I think, with exposure and getting more eyeballs on everything that they do, that's can be so beneficial. So.
I agree. I completely agree. And a lot of people will look at things and see how hard it is, or see, okay, I'm not going to make it. So
Yeah.
all you need to do is a start. Just
Yeah.
try, put that first step, like the million mile, start with
Yeah. Yeah.
one tiny step, right?
Yeah.
Um, and you as a mother,
Yeah.
I know we didn't touch on that, but I see a beautiful child behind you,
Oh, yeah.
and this is for all the mothers out there. A lot of people, think being a mother, it's okay, the end. This is it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna start. How were you able to overcome the struggle of raising a child, and also trying to find your way of financially supporting yourself?
Yeah. Gosh.
I know it's a big question. Full
It's
mouth.
a, it's a
Yeah.
big question, and it's a huge, oh man, it's just, I think of the journey. That's when she was little. She was teeny then, but she's almost 13 now. And I've come such a long way. And again, I cannot emphasize enough being surrounding yourself around positive people, and people who are going to help you with positive self-talk. Just believing, this whole thing of, can I have it all? Can I have, not necessarily. I don't think so, that you can have it all per se without burning yourself out. There's sometimes where something kind of has to take a back seat so that you're not losing yourself, and I think that that's one thing that happens to a lot of women, and a lot of moms can identify with this. You lose yourself sometimes. You're trying to be the best wife, they're trying to be the best mother, the best employee, and sometimes you kind of have to go back to basics. What does Becky like? What helps Becky to focus? What grounds Becky? And ground yourself, and then you can find a way to juggle. I know juggling is probably not the best word, but to juggle as much as you can without overtaxing yourself. Learning the word no, learning how to say no. No is a complete sentence. And I used to always be the one that, oh, I'm so sorry, or, oh, no, but, or, those types of things. Learning to put your oxygen mask on first, I think, was the biggest thing for me. My mom's favorite phrase is, you can't pour from an empty cup. She's like, you got to fill yourself up first before you can pour into your daughter, because she's watching you. And she would say, she's watching how you cope with stress. She's watching how you get up every day and work and do what you need to do. So it's been that focus that I've had to have to make that happen. I don't know how. I think all moms can say, I don't know how I've done this. It's just, you just do it. And it's that
Yeah.
thing, that innate thing in a mom, that we just keep going and we just push. And I've been blessed to have amazing bosses who've been supportive. and along the way, and have just helped me and supported me with everything that I need to do. So
You
it's
sound like you
it's
had
been
an amazing mom.
oh, she's a lovely woman. Yes. Very amazing.
And
Yeah,
that's is going to not just pour into your cup, but it will
absolutely.
also pour into your daughter's cup,
Yes.
because the way you are raised, you are going to raise her
Yes.
by example. And that's one of the things I want you to like just briefly like talk about. um, how can moms and business,
Yeah.
women in business, how
Mhm.
can they be a role model? How can we raise in a generation that value money, value time, value mental health, and
Sure.
be someone who's going to benefit the society?
Oh boy. I guess just the first thing is just being that example, showing, talking to them and talking to them. I know we hit that point where, you see the eyes roll and you feel
Yeah.
you're talking to a blank
Mom
wall.
doesn't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's uh, no pun intended. Seeds are being planted, and
Yes.
it will, they will grow eventually. Those
Yeah.
they will remember. They'll look back. Sometimes my daughter will say, "Well, mommy, yeah, you did this and you did that." I'm like, "Oh, she was listening. Oh, she was watching." When it comes to money, I don't. There's times where if we're at the store and she wants to buy her candies or her little video game things, and I make her pay, because she makes her own money, and they need to understand this is how money works. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money you have to work for, and it's something that and saving, if you once that's spent, it's gone. Mommy's not a bank. And again, the mental health aspect, it's even as they continue to grow, that it's never, we never stop being mothers, I think,
Yeah.
and we continue to guide them even at this age. It's like, hey, let's do some yoga, let's do some mindful meditation. And sometimes, when they're a little younger, the attention span is a little shorter, but again, for introducing her to the gardening and just showing her, listen, these are the things that we can do for our mental health. You're stressing out over school, we're going to take a second, you're going to sit down, put that school work aside, because your mental health is more important. If you get a C, you get a C, that you tried, right? So what's important is you taking those deep breaths. We're going to do some mindfulness techniques or something. So, and then she'll see me do it. And I think another thing is being honest with them. I used to try to hide if I was sad or overworked and frustrated, trying to be the perfect mom. But I'm like, wait a second, this is life, and she's going to have
Yeah.
adversity in life. So she needs to see not only that, yes, I get stressed out, yes, I get sad,
Hmm.
but what do I do with that so that when she gets sad, when she gets stressed out, she can pattern, well, mommy does this, and these are the things that I can do. So those are that's the sorry.
Yeah. No,
Those
no,
are,
you're okay. Continue.
oh,
Continue.
okay. I
Sorry.
thought, yeah, those are the ways that I can show her that that she can pattern her steps after me, and that was on the mindful end of things. And again, just with business alone, I think with any business, it's always a leap of faith. Anything new, any new opportunity, any new adventure is always going to be scary and a leap of faith, because you
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen. They're seeing that. I'm patterning that after, for her to see, like, wow, she had no idea where this was going to go. And a lot of times, when I'm shooting my little videos, I'll see her in the background. She's like, "Go, mommy!" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I
Oh.
choke up. I'm like, "This is my little cheerleader," and she's
Yes.
seeing it firsthand.
So
So
you're teaching her, raising her by example,
yeah,
and there's many ways that she can benefit from what you're doing, and you can also, a lot of parents don't think that their job and their business might take them away from their kids, including your kids
absolutely.
in your project. I used to sit and study with my girls. They do their homework, I do
Yeah,
mine. So it's a time, a bonding time doesn't have to be we just sit and
right.
stare at each other and eat. No, it can be
Yeah.
gardening together,
Yes.
cleaning the house together,
Yes.
like doing activities that actually teach them responsibility, teach
Mhm.
them where money comes from.
Yes.
When she was 6 years old, she's 16 now. She used to turn the faucet, and when she washed the dishes, I taught him to do all of that at young age. She will
Absolutely.
be washing her dishes,
Yeah.
and she will leave the water running. And
Yes.
then when I'll say, no, turn it off because you're wasting mama's money, you're wasting the water, so you're affecting the environment. And she said, oh, do we pay for water? I mean, the
Yeah.
kids
Little
don't
things.
know until you
Yes.
tell them. So
Absolutely.
this is a good way of bonding,
Yeah.
also teaching your kids and having that great time with them.
Mhm.
If someone wanted to reach out to you or support you or be
Yes.
part of your business, or just any way that they can support what you do or
Yeah.
learn from you,
Sure.
where they can follow you, how they can contact you, give us the name of your channel and anything else that you want to share with our listeners.
Okay, yeah. So I'm at the Mocha Foodie Gardener, and that's my YouTube. That's also my Instagram, as well as my Facebook. And my email is the Mocha Foodie Gardener at gmail.com. So everything is the Mocha Foodie Gardener. So across platforms so nobody can miss anything. I do try to put out a video like maybe once a month if I can, if I'm not too busy. I do hope to pick up a bit more with that. I do a little bit more on Instagram. I try to take pictures. I do more food content on Instagram because if I'm cooking something, I'm just like, oh, let me plate this nicely and take a picture and say, hey, I grew this myself. You can do it too. And I've had a few collaborations. People reach out to me via email to say, hey, what can I do if there's something that someone else is doing? If you sell seeds, if you sell compost, vermicomposting. I used to raise worms and get compost from the worms and all that fun stuff. So any kind of collaboration, I'm always open to that, or at the very least, just more viewers and subscribers and people learning about gardening and healthy living.
Amazing, amazing. And so we will put all your information at the end of the video, and feel free after we finish to share anything on the comments. And for everyone that is listening to us, please support. And I say this with everyone. Every guest that we bring here to you is someone that they're putting their heart on their business, or, their awareness campaign or organization or whatever they do, and it doesn't hurt us to support each other. This is how we can build a community, and that's how we can do our part of, increasing awareness, educating, helping someone to grow and survive either financially or mentally. But before we end, we always do something that I call the lightning round, which we just gonna ask you questions, fun
Okay.
questions, and answer it with the first thing come to your mind, just a simple answer. So the first thing, what Becky today will say to 16 years old Becky, if you have the chance to do that? What advice would you give her?
Believe in yourself. Oh my gosh, you can do it.
Guilty pleasure. And we get all kind of response, from chocolate to watching reality TV to anything. So guilty pleasure.
Well, you mentioned chocolate, so I'm a huge Haagen-Dazs fan. I love ice
Oh,
cream, and yeah, and it's a more expensive one, but I will spend the money. Haagen-Dazs, Haagen-Dazs, and binging on Netflix. Anything on Netflix.
okay, okay. And who is the one person that you will look up to and inspires you?
Always my mother. My mother. She's an amazing woman. I'm very blessed to have her.
And happy Mother's Day to both of you, by the way.
You too. You as well.
So your mother, and the last thing, what something that people misunderstand about Becky,
Hmm. Oh wow.
or
Um,
something that people don't know about you? You could choose or answer both.
something that people tend to think that I'm very outgoing, which I'm not. I'm painfully shy. I don't do. And which is ironic because I have a YouTube channel, but I think because I don't see faces, and
Yeah,
I used to be a producer and behind the scenes, but
yeah.
I know I'm painfully shy. And one thing that people don't know about me, I'm a super nerd. I love Comic-Con and comic books and that kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
I did not know that. Sheldon. One of my favorite show is The Big Bang Theory and
Oh, yeah.
Sheldon and the
Oh,
Comic
Young
Con.
Sheldon. Yeah, yeah. Those are my mom. She loves,
Yes,
she's always talking
yes,
about Young Sheldon.
yes.
Yeah.
But though I just want to thank you, Becky, for giving us the
So
time.
much.
And I want to thank everyone who joined us. And hopefully we'll have you again and everything that will go as you want it. You continue to succeed, to inspire, and lead the way for not just your family, but for many families. And thank you for everyone who's watching us. And we appreciate you. Please remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.